I made $140K from somebody else's business. They had the product, they had the audience, they just couldn't sell it. So I did. A business coaching company had 12,000 people who had already spent money with them. And out of those 12,000, they'd sold exactly 5 into their 15K coaching program in an entire year. So I partnered with them, same audience, same offer. My tools were email and a Google Doc. We put 30 people into that program, over $400,000 in revenue in 3 months. My cut of that was 35%. That's $35,000 for every $100,000 I helped create. You can do the math on 400K. No sales calls, no webinar, no fancy funnel, and I want to show you exactly why the numbers changed, because it wasn't what we sold. It was how we talked to people. So let's back up. This business had done a lot of things right. They had a $27 front end offer that 12,000 people had bought. That's real. Like, that's an audience that already trusts you, right? They trust you enough to pull out their credit card. But when they tried to sell those same people a 15K coaching program, and the way they did it was exactly how most people do it, right? It's like a webinar, countdown timer, only 10 spots available, right? Hard close on the call. It's this follow-up sequence that basically said, hey, you still interested? 4 different ways. It was like lazy, right? Look, that stuff can work sometimes. They got 5 people. 5 people at 15K, $75,000. That's not nothing. But 5 out of 12,000, that's a 0.04 conversion rate on people who already bought from you. My calculator actually asked me if I was sure about that. So something was obviously off, and it wasn't the offer. The offer is good. The problem was the conversation. So here's what nobody tells you about countdown timers and hard closes. Like, they work great on first-time buyers, people who don't know you, people making impulse decisions for 27 bucks. But those 12,000 people, they already knew the business. They already bought something. They weren't impulse buyers sitting in a webinar for the first time. These were smart people. They're experienced. They've probably been sold to 400 times that year already. And when you hit smart, experienced buyers with urgency tactics, they don't feel excited. They feel annoyed. Only 3 spots left. Sure there are. The price goes away at midnight. I'll wait for the next launch. Book your call now before they fill up. I don't even know if I want this yet. I just got here. At least buy me dinner first. You know, urgency assumes people are ready to buy and just need a push, but most people aren't sitting there with their wallet open waiting for you to shove them off the fence. They're sitting there with questions, real ones. And those questions don't get answered by a countdown timer. They get answered by a conversation. So here's how the partnership worked. They had the audience, I had the skills. We agreed to split the revenue, 35% to me for running the entire sales conversation. They didn't pay me a dime up front. No retainer, no deposit. I only got paid when they got paid. And I didn't change the offer. I didn't lower the price. I didn't redesign a sales page. I didn't run new ads. The same 12,000 people, the same 15K offer. I just changed the conversation. The first thing we did is we sent an email, not a sales email, not a limited time email, just a real email. Like, just a hand raiser kind of email that spoke to them in a way that made them think, oh dang, maybe I would be interested in this. That's it. That was the email. Just trying to find the right people by starting the right conversation. And people wrote back, not hundreds, but the right people wrote back. By the time someone was ready to hear about the coaching program, they didn't need convincing. We'd already shown that we understood them, and the offer was clearly built to fix the problem that they had. So instead of a high-pressure sales call, we just sent them to literally a Google Doc. Not a Google Doc turned into a sales page, a document that basically says, hey, here's what you told us, here's what we think's going on, here's how we can solve that problem for you, here's the investment. No countdown timers, no this offer expires, no fake scarcity, just clarity in an email thread in a friggin' Google Doc. 30 people said yes. At $15K for a pay in full, or $4,500 a month for 4 months, over $400,000 in revenue. My 35% came out to over $140K from, again, emails and a Google Doc. So why did 30 people say yes when only 5 said yes the year before? Because we treated them like adults. We didn't assume they were ready. We asked, and instead of like manufacturing urgency, we just created clarity. People don't need to be pushed, they need to be heard. And when someone feels heard, genuinely heard, the sale isn't a close, it's like a confirmation. So here's the part I really hope you hear. I didn't build that audience. I didn't create that coaching program. I walked in to someone else's already successful business with a skill set. Writing emails, having real conversations, making offers that feel like service instead of sales. And I turned that into a 35% rev share partnership. The skills that did this, they're the same skills that most good marketers and copywriters already have. You probably have them. You're just using them to send invoices instead of building partnerships. So subscribe if you want to see the rest. Comment math below if you've ever calculated what your work actually generated for a client versus what they paid you. Because I bet you the gaps might make some of you sick. I just want you to win. Cheers.